You fail to understand, and the same incredible terror that's menacing me will strike at you!
Hey, hello everybody. Sterling, where are you guys going? Here we are.
Wait,
we're
what?
on.
What?
We're on. Hey. So anyway, this is going to be a very special experiment. This was actually Sterling's idea because occasionally I talk about film or I make film recommendations, and Sterling's like, "Wow, I'd really like to talk about film more." So I thought, let's do a little bit of a trivia contest. Let me ask my dear filmmaking friend. So I'm going to moderate this thing. I'm not going to answer, but I've got my other film school graduate, Rachel Hastings. So good luck, Sterling.
I'm the amateur in every discussion.
But Sterling, you've been out of Rachel's only been out of the Sea Org for a little bit, about the same as me.
Fair.
You've been out for like 20 years. I mean, you've had plenty of time to catch up with pop culture. You know.
Yeah, but I just been rewatching all the Steven Seagal movies over and over again for 20 years. So
yeah, that is
Give me Steven Seagal for 10 points.
Yeah. Okay. So next time we do this, I'm putting up a Steven Seagal category.
My twin brother Justin agreed with me. He's like, Steven Seagal, best movies in the 80s.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough. So I have to say something though before we start.
Yeah,
you two guys, although you've never met each other, I consider you both very dear friends. Rachel, I've known as long as she's been in the Sea Org. You two are about the most two traveled people that I know. In other words, I think you two, of all the people that I know, have, because during your career in the Sea Org, Rachel, you obviously traveled a lot. We've heard some of that from you, traveling around doing documentaries for the church. And then when you left, Sterling, you then had a chance to work in Saudi Arabia and do a lot of traveling. So essentially, I want the audience, the people in the chat, to know that these are some seriously knowledgeable world travelers, and maybe sometime we'll do a trivia on airports.
Oh yeah, actually, bathrooms of the world I think would be good.
Yeah, bathrooms of the world, because I would take Japan for 20 or for 200.
We need to do best and worst bathrooms of the world.
Yeah,
or stories on what shocked you the most when there was just a hole in the ground and I didn't have anywhere to sit.
Yeah. Well, that was in Tokyo for me. I'm like, okay, I've never seen a hole that flushed. Anyway,
not all of them flush.
Let's get started here. Yeah, this is true. Let's get started here. Anyway, so here's what I've done. I've kind of curated this myself. I could have just gone and bought a copy of Trivial Pursuit Silver Screen Edition, but I thought, why do that? I'm just going to kind of do a little research and do some questions that I think will also make interesting conversation, because at the end of the day, as much as I hate that phrase, this is an excuse to have a great conversation. So here, I'm going to put this up. Now, these are the genres that we're going to be dealing with: drama, comedy, which is also romantic comedy. I think most comedies are actually romantic comedies. Westerns, action, adventure, horror, animation, science fiction, musicals, foreign language, and general, which are just kind of not specific to any one genre. So,
where's the LGBTQ section?
Well,
because I would crush you.
You would. Speaking of which, did you watch Naiad? Have you seen that?
Oh, I have not yet.
I knew that story because I heard her TED Talk years ago. I think you'll like it. I'd like to get your review after you see it. Let me know after you see it. I mean, plus it's starring, two of my favorite actors. So,
and I just have to ask, sorry, because Rachel, did we ever cross paths, or did I just miss you? When did you? I left in 2004, 2005.
I joined in 2004.
Okay, so I
did go up to gold in 2004 and 2005.
Yeah, and I think I left in early to mid 2004. I left the gold base. I was down in LA until the beginning of 2005. So yeah, we just missed each other.
Were you working in LA or just like doing like your get out of?
I was just trying to get out. Yeah, I was just trying to get out.
So you were doing clay demos at PAC.
No, I was actually blowing to baseball games.
Oh, but, good for you. Dodger Stadium's not that far.
No, and there's a bus that goes right from Big Blue down to Bigger Blue. Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but you told the story about like the color the color science thing and the printing of the photographs, right?
Yes.
Was that
yeah,
you?
yes.
I have
the covers.
basically the same story, but like 10 years later.
Really?
Yeah, like with
I hope no one
and then
hit
it
you,
was
though.
just the colors of the lights. No, we didn't have any hitting. I mean, that got a lot more restrained away from, I guess, the safety of gold base, that super secure base where anything goes.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Boy, isn't that the truth?
No, so you'll have to tell me that story either in this one or we'll talk separately, because it is kind of funny that's not such an obvious thing to some people.
no, but just the fact that we'd have to do the whole. I mean, that same conversation was happening again. It's just like a hamster wheel. It's ridiculous. So yeah, but that's color science is for another time.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's kind of like a film strip. It just keeps repeating, looping.
Yeah.
And looping and looping and looping, kind of like those strip malls where they have a Jamba Juice, a Starbucks, a Gap.
It's the same.
You just drive down Ventura Boulevard and you see it again, and then you see it again, and then you see it again. Yeah.
Right.
Some things in Scientology are a little bit like that. Okay, so I realize I don't have this very well organized. So, for one thing, I have all of my questions and my categories are on my other computer, so I'm going to have to look over here, and I'm not sure how we're going to pick who's going to go first. Because I don't have a coin.
Well,
I could
we
toss
don't
it or
know
something.
because Mitch, you're above the line. You're what we call one of the adults.
Yeah, no, I understand that. I'm an above the line.
And hey, don't worry about it. None of these game nights start out organized. It just rolls.
Oh no, but mine, I'm a control freak. Okay, so no, but no, I don't care who goes first. Okay, we're gonna do this. I don't know right now either of your birthdays. Whichever one of your birthdays is on an even day goes first. Which one of your birthdays?
Like a number, like an even
number?
number?
Yeah, even number.
I'm September 7th.
Okay, you're an odd number. Rachel?
I'm June 16th.
16th?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to go first because you're an even number. See how easy that was? By the way...
I'm definitely an odd number as a person, but...
Well, no, that's different. That's different. Nobody's accusing you of being normal. Calm down.
Please.
That little trick, by the way, that little piece of organizational magic, which odd birthday, even birthday. That's from keeping it within the film context. That's a piece of assistant director technology that I learned a long time ago. If you have to really quickly separate a crowd of extras, and there's too many of them to address, you just say everybody born in the first half of the year go on that side, everybody, and you just use things like that. So just thought you'd like to know.
I never get that many extras to have that problem.
Yeah, well, that's because it's because we didn't get to work together at Gold. It went like this: you put 200 in the budget, you get 50. So if you need 50, you put 200 in the budget because it's going to get cut. Okay, Rachel, pick a category, and I'm going to ask you a question.
Oh, we get to select. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Let's do musicals.
Okay, good. Here's a musical. Here's I'm going to have to unfortunately be rude and look off camera, but here we say. I'll give you an easy one to begin with.
Well, I hope I get it.
What color did Frenchie color her hair in Greece?
Oh, I know that one. I shouldn't.
Red.
That's close, but that's not it. So do you want to try to steal?
Yeah, try it.
Sterling?
I thought it was pink.
Yeah, pink. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, I didn't get a score sheet. Somebody in the chat, will you please keep score? Who's going to hand?
Oh, wait a second.
What? What do you got there? You have a score thing? Okay, good.
Oh, there you
Put
go.
one
And
down for
that's a
Sterling.
musical starring a Scientologist.
Exactly. I have some Scientology things in here.
Yes, and by the way,
relevant. If anybody in the chat, if neither of them get it, like literally the first person who mentions it in the chat is going to be the winner of that particular question. If neither of them can answer it. Okay. So we're off to a good start. I really thought you would get pink. I'm kind of disappointed, Rachel.
I don't like Grease.
Oh, don't you? Yeah, it's.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
I don't.
I get it. No.
I'm not a musical fan at all. I mean, obviously, Grease I watched
It's
as a kid.
really kitschy.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
here's the thing. I want you to pick musical again, Rachel, because I've got some questions in musical that I think you're going to love. So don't shy away from it. Okay, Sterling, pick a genre.
Okay, I'm gonna go with something very educated and with finesse, showing my level of intelligence. Action adventure, please.
Oh, yeah, because that's what
Oh,
we're
yeah,
all about.
that's
Okay,
Steven
so
Seagal.
let me pick one that's maybe not. A lot of these you're going to think, oh, this is done by a boomer. And it's not just that I'm a boomer, but it's also that I don't think many really good films were made in the last
So they're all
20
gonna be John Wayne, Chuck Norris, and
Well, no, but I should have put some John Wayne in it. Nothing that much fun. Okay,
I'm going to
here's a
let
good
that
one.
go because we could definitely launch into an argument right now.
About what?
I think there have been some good films.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely there have. I have my own personal bias says that before you call a film a classic, it has to be 10 years old, because you have to see that it actually really, it stood the test of time. But yeah, I would agree with you. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of new films on here, and it's just showing me. Okay, so you said action adventure. Okay, here's a good one for you. How many Die Hard films were there?
oh my God. I want to say Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Harder. I want to say 5.
Oh, ding, ding, ding. That's you got it. Here, hold on.
I've only watched.
Hold on, I got a bell. I got a bell. I found this bell. I was cleaning up my kid who used to live here. I was cleaning out his bedroom because I needed to turn it into a little voice studio. And I found this little bell. You can't read it, but it says "ring for sex." Okay. And my kid had this bell.
And you just keep ringing that bell.
It's Pavlovian right there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, by the way, to be clear though, I've only ever seen the first 2. I could care less about the other 3.
Okay, well here you go. These were hold on a second. They were Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Hard with a Vengeance, Live Free or Die Hard, and A Good Day to Die Hard.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Well, and then I think would be fun is I get to ask Rachel a question. So if I get it right, and I'm interested to know, Rachel, do you consider the first Die Hard movie, Die Hard, a Christmas movie or not?
I never thought of it as a Christmas movie, but now that I think about it, I could recategorize it, but I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, right.
Well,
and I didn't either until it became a thing.
Well, how do you define Christmas movie? You said Christmas movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
What is a Christmas movie? How do you define Christmas movie?
Snow at the end, Christmas party in a skyscraper, and explosions.
Okay, fair enough.
But to me, it has to be like, it has to have the holiday spirit, and it has to be released at a time, in a block of time where you would go see it in the theater while you're on your break from school or your break from work or whatever.
Okay.
It has to be like a theatrical release at that time. But I think it's too early of a movie for me to have known if that was
early. You mean in your lifetime?
Yeah.
Oh well, because it's like for many years it was just you couldn't avoid it on cable. Here's my
but I don't know when it was released theatrically. Like for me, a Christmas movie, I need to have seen it for it really to be that way. I need to have either like seen it in the theaters on like has been one of my favorite things to do. Even when I was in the SO, I would get that time off usually, and I would go see movies. I mean, I think I had one day where I went and saw 3 movies in the theater because I love seeing films in the theater.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. It was, you and me both.
July 22nd, 1988.
Yeah, is when it was released?
Yeah. Yes.
That's interesting. I mean, it was a story, a kind of a Christmas-centric story. I mean, as...
It later became a thing to call it. It was not considered a Christmas movie when it was first released. It later became sort of a thing, like just for fun, I guess.
Well, yeah. Hi, Rosalind. See, she says he saves his family for Christmas. How is that not a Christmas movie? And then she goes on to very rightly say She goes on to say, and it's way less depressing than It's a Wonderful Life. So I'm going.
that's
I'm going to
true.
go. I'm going to go with Rosin and say it's a Christmas film. The thing is, they play this thing around Christmas. I mean, look, there's a difference between a Christmas film that's like a Christmas story and a Christmas release. Because I mean, I can tell you films that I went to see on Christmas Day: Dirty Harry, James Bond, from Russia with Love when I was a little kid. So because they do these releases, True Grit, I saw on a Christmas Day. So I think there's a difference between a Christmas release and a Christmas movie. So I don't think Die Hard is either, but I really get.
And I think you're right, Rachel. I think you're right. There is a certain. It's not every criteria. There is a certain enjoyment in going to a movie theater, especially on a cold December night, and seeing a movie that does add to the experience of it being that time of the year.
Yeah, especially
part of the magic.
Especially when mom kicks you out of the house because she needs to make Christmas dinner, and then you watch the movie and you come home and the house smells like whatever your mom made for Christmas. For me, those are the kinds of Christmas day. We in my house, it was a tradition to go to a movie, to be kicked out of the house, go to a movie. And, we usually go down to Grandma's Chinese on Hollywood Boulevard or something like that. Okay, Rachel, you're up.
Oh, I'm supposed to choose a category?
Yeah, or I'll pick one for you.
Yeah, why don't you just pick a question for me?
Okay, good. Now, also, I should tell you that some of these are they're bonus questions. Means you get 2 points, and it's just random. I just made it up. But the bonus ones, I have film clips to show. They're a couple of minutes long.
Ooh.
Which I thought that might be kind of interesting. I have some,
Absolutely.
either a trailer or a film clip, just to make this thing a little. Trying to think something that you would know. Okay, here's one.
You have no idea. I mean, I'm so random. What I would know is probably pretty hard to predict. And I'm not really like a trivia person, so
that's why I asked you here.
Pretty random what I'm going to know and not know.
No, but I didn't ask you here because I thought you had a great knowledge of film trivia. I asked you here because you're a really interesting conversationalist. That's the more important thing.
That's a lot to live up to after shooting all day.
Yeah, that's
and trying to get. It took me over an hour and a half to get to my shoot in Los Angeles because the 10 freeways burned down.
Oh that's right. You had to deal with that.
Oh my God. And it took me, I thought I wasn't going to make it back. Like we wrapped at 5 and I thought I wasn't going to make it back in time for this. It took me almost 2 hours to get back.
Oh my wow. Goodness. And the words freeway burned down, I really never thought I'd hear that.
Oh no, and they don't know how long it's going to take to fix it. It's
amazing.
Yeah, apparently
don't go downtown or anywhere.
Yeah, that freeway collapsed during the Northridge earthquake, and they had it back up in a year. So.
A year of this kind of traffic.
But this is nothing. This is like whatever. They'll figure it out.
I hope so.
Yeah, they'll figure it out. They just they got FEMA. They got all the government people. It'll never happen. Okay. So.
Oh yeah, because they did so great in some of these natural disasters.
Oh
they're
great. They're I don't know how you can criticize. Okay, so I'm trying to think. Okay, here's
3 to 4 weeks to repair because it didn't collapse. Oh, that's great. That's definitely better news than what I've been hearing.
Yeah, I have a feeling they'll be able to do it pretty quickly.
Okay, do you have a question or do you? Yeah,
I don't take the 10 anywhere.
Yeah, well, that's you live in Agora and you work in Malibu, so you get to take like the most picturesque route in Southern California. It's like a 15-minute drive over the you go through Kane and Doom Road, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful, fun drive. Woohoo! Lucky you.
I just work somewhere different every day. That's the problem. There's zero, and sometimes I don't find out till like 11 p.m. where I'm going the next day.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, no, that's not. Yeah, LA traffic is what everyone says. It's a nightmare.
Yeah,
I am a little lucky.
But yes. Rachel, come on, how much vastly superior is this to chapters of your previous career?
It's way more fun. Yeah,
I don't know what you're. Yeah,
and
at least you could
a lot less evil.
Yeah, well, at least now you can bitch about it and not get a security check.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Do you, Rachel, pure curiosity, on a 2-hour drive, long drive, do you listen to audiobooks, YouTube, or do you just listen to music the whole time?
I mix it up, all three. Yeah, no, I try to catch up with all these YouTube channels, these Scientology YouTube channels, like, but there's more than even with the amount that I drive, there's more than I can keep up with.
Right.
And then sometimes audiobooks. Sometimes if I have to read scripts, I have like a program that'll read them to me in like a semi-realistic voice.
Oh, wow.
So I could like listen to a script I'm supposed to read or something like that. And then sometimes it's just music. What about you?
I'm the same. I'll do an audiobook from time to time. I do love audiobooks, but I have a weird little thing where if I really like an audiobook, I still buy the actual copy of the book so that I have it.
That's cool.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. There's some books, and one of the reasons is especially books that I want to study is I need to be able to highlight them and put tabs in them. And
and I love the feeling of a book still more, but I can only listen to music so many times in my car, and I feel like I'm being more productive if I'm listening to some sort of informational thing always.
Right, because
exactly.
having grown up in the Sea Org, you need to feel productive.
That's a thing. Like I'll start to be like, oh no, I need to be doing something. I need to be working. And I'm like, I just worked for 12 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is crazy.
Exactly.
It's just like,
you're going to go home and do some. Yeah.
I totally get it. But no, cool. Well, I always wonder that. So that's
not that anybody asked me, but I'm unemployed. So the best thing about that is when I get up in the morning, I'm there. Okay, that was humor. That's called gallows humor.
If you had a traffic story, Mitch, we would have asked you, but you didn't.
Yeah, I'm sure that I used to drive to Gold twice a week, and that's a traffic.
You
story.
did enough. I know. I randomly call Mitch on my drives a lot of times too, with no text. I just randomly call Mitch, and half the time he's on the air.
Oh,
yeah, and it's only because for some reason you call when I'm there. Not it doesn't. It's not a reflection of how much I'm on there.
By the way, can I just say I love the fact that you guys found each other after, and you're able to have that conversation or have that whatever relationship you have together. That to me
we were friends, even though we didn't see each other a lot, but we were actually good friends. I mean, Rachel was. I'm just going to embarrass the shit out of you, but she was one of my favorite people in the Sea Org that I worked with and that I knew, and I was always trying to get her up to the base so we could work together.
Right.
And then I ended up at S&P and we got to work together there. And then, the shit hit the fan and I went back to Gold and blah, blah, blah. And then she left. I think it was actually Mike Rinder who told me.
It was Mike.
Yeah, because Mike was one of the first couple of people I talked to when I started really disconnecting from Scientology. And he said, have you spoken with, he said, do you know Rachel Hastings? And I went, yeah. And he said, well, she's crazy. Left.
Because Mitch and I basically disappeared at the same time.
Yeah, even though I was at Gold and she was in LA, we kind of both, it was right around the beginning of the lockdown when we sort of faded out. So
interesting. It was interesting.
But Mitch was a big, like my whole goal when people were asking me, well, where are you going? Because I was cleared for Gold, I'm going to go to Gold and work with Mitch and do main unit stuff or be a second main unit or whatever. That was always my goal, and that was never disputed by anyone. They were like, yeah, of course, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so then Mitch leaving was a piece in the puzzle of me being like, okay, come on.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, if you'd asked me when I was leaving, like, who else do you want to leave? My top 3, Rachel was on there, absolutely. Never mind the other 2 because they're still there, but there's just people that you just want.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like Sean Alcock is on my list. He's one.
Yeah, but unfortunately he's never going to leave. And
Sean, I know Sean.
Did you know Sean?
Yeah, because I worked with Main Unit Gold. He became crew chief.
Yeah.
For many years.
We basically were born.
Yeah, because even though Rachel wasn't at Gold very much, she was run by Gold, so she knew Kevin really well.
I was run by Kevin for years.
McHenry.
Yeah.
McHenry?
Yeah.
No, Sean and I grew up in the same place. Our parents knew each other. He'd be rough on the edges sometimes. He's got this fantastic personality, but he was always one of my closest friends. Even when I was in trouble.
He's a lot of things that you can like and dislike, but he has a heart of gold. That's just a fact. And so does his sister Mishi. The two of them are really.
She was very
people.
very nice. Mishi was very sweet.
Super nice.
She became an AD. Or no, AC. First she became first AC, second AC, then first AC.
Yeah, she's an ACAM. She's a really good ACAM. I mean, these guys, they could leave and they could get work.
Yeah.
It's like they're talented.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Rachel was DPing a feature, she would consider, and Michelle was out, I'm sure you'd consider hiring her. I mean, if the union
her,
things
yes.
or whatever.
Sean hates gay people, so
Sean
he would have a hard time working in Hollywood, but he's just brainwashed.
He's horribly homophobic. I used to joke with him that.
Yeah, you've actually told me about that before, Mitch, I think.
Yeah, I can't say it on the air, but I used to say, wait a minute, Sean, are you sure that maybe your scoutmaster didn't take you behind the tent?
Well,
Is that why you're so mad?
I find it interesting because we grew up almost the exact same way.
Right.
Step by step. And I never had that feeling. It never occurred to me that there was anything wrong with a person that had inclinations towards the same sex. It didn't occur to me, but mind you, I didn't think about it a whole lot either.
Well,
but it's interesting to me.
You don't in the C word,
but
that's
a study.
You don't necessarily in the C word, but
but a hatred for it. Where does that come from?
Well, I don't know, but I think it comes from your own trauma. Jinx, you owe me a Coke, Rachel.
What?
We said trauma at the exact same time.
We don't play that game in this house. Otherwise, oh my gosh.
What? Why
Jinx.
not? Jinx, you owe me a Coke. What? You don't play that?
Because the kids will overdo it.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's right. Your kids they'll torture you.
God.
They will learn to say things at the exact same time as you, just so they can engineer Cokes out of you. Yeah, you're smart not to do that.
Or Jinx, and you're not allowed to talk until someone says your name.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I think working on the shoot crew, we would sometimes cast gay actors, right? And it would always be a little bit of an uncomfortable situation because, you have Cirque members and they're like, they believe that there's such a thing as like gay cooties. You know what I'm talking about. And so,
Oh, that exists. You can catch it through.
Yeah, you can catch gay cooties. It's really a thing.
Yeah.
And so, I think some of the Cirque members at Gold would be exposed to it that way because they wouldn't purposely hire gay actors. But let's face it, there's a certain percentage of the population which you would expect to be gay because that's normal. So if you're casting a lot of gay actors, which Gold casts tons of actors, you're going to get some people up there that are gay, and they're not, stereotypically gay.
And we can talk about that. I mean, just the fact that L. Ron Hubbard wrote what he wrote about,
it's horrible.
About that, and that people believed in up till now that still stands when he was talking about it in 1950. It's like it's insane to think about.
Yeah, it's really horrible. And one of the things is some of these gay actors did a really good job to the point where it was noted. Like David Miscavige would see the submission on the film and he'd say, that person did a really good job. So then they had to keep hiring that person because nobody's going to tell him, oh, sir, I'm sorry. We don't want that person back because they have gay cooties. But anyway, we're getting off the subject here. Who's next? I've lost track. Sterling, I think. Oh, no, no, I think Rachel.
This is bound to happen. Rachel, I find you fascinating. I would love to talk to you again sometime.
Same, absolutely.
Well, we still have some time, so let's use this well.
I think you were just no, wait, did you ask Rachel the question in the end? I don't think we did. I think it's Rachel's.
No, I'm looking for a question for her, okay?
We're just going to let you pick it.
Yeah, now a lot of these are multiple choice. You want to pick a genre, or you want me to pick it?
Oh, yeah, do a multiple choice one.
Yeah, I like
my
a multiple
odds
choice
with
one. This is from the general category, and the question is...
What's a general film?
Sorry?
What's a general film?
No. It's a general category, meaning it's something about films in general.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? I'm not going to give you one.
No, just ask me.
Yeah, I am. Here goes. Okay. If you just be quiet a second, I'll ask you.
Okay, ask me.
Okay, here we go. You ready? Now? Okay. Adjusted for inflation, which movie has made more money in the domestic box office? Okay, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, The Sound of Music, or Gone with the Wind?
And just in the domestic box office.
The domestic box office adjusted for inflation, right?
Let's say
Star Wars, the first Star Wars, E.T., Sound of Music, or Gone with the Wind?
Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, ding, 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 ding,
He's
ding,
right.
ding, ding.
He's totally right.
There were no streamers then.
What? Oh, wait a minute.
No AMPTP.
Is that, I guess, what year was,
you had to go to there was no Netflix back then.
Oh,
Mitch.
is that what you mean?
You don't have to Google that.
I thought you meant streamers. I thought you meant, never mind.
No, everybody's been striking against them, the big.
Yeah. No, I get that. I totally get that. So,
you had to go to the theater. And I know that it's just, it is a huge sensation. People obsess over that movie.
Well, Gone with the Wind was a huge deal, more than people know. And it was showcased for a long time as a big, like road show, widescreen extravaganza. It was also one of the most expensive films for a long time because why? Because they burned Atlanta, or a facsimile. Okay, that was really good. Sorry, Sterling, what's going on there?
The chat wanted to make sure I gave Rachel a point, so I was just showing that I gave her a point.
They thought I was cheating.
Yeah, and I've actually never seen Gone with the Wind.
Yeah, and you know what? Nobody got it in the chat. Yeah.
I knew the answer, but I've never seen the movie.
Hey, guys in the chat, do me a favor. If you have an answer to one of these, hold it until after.
Well, I can't see it, the chat, right?
Well, no, and I'm going over.
Yeah, you can't. Oh, no. Yeah, you can. You can see the. Rachel, can you look? Well, because you don't have a channel. I don't know how that works.
I don't have a channel, so I don't see the chat. Sometimes they pop up, but I think you all have to make them pop up for me. So otherwise, everybody could be just.
I can't do that.
Complaining about my hair or something, and I would have no idea. Just
no, I'm not going to.
Rachel, all these are just saying she's so beautiful and smart. There's nothing else in here.
Yeah, no, it's your. I'm glad you can't see these. You would be pink. You'd be hard to light. Literally, you would be
Mitch,
embarrassed.
When you ask the question, I click over to starred, so I can't see the answers. Just so you know. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. But if they would just wait until my honored guests finish, that would be fantastic.
That's a tough ask.
And if they don't get it, and whoever gets it from the chat first, they win that question. Okay, so now you're up, Sterling. Do you want me to pick one, or you want to just?
No, hit me. Hit me with your best shot.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm feeling particularly. Okay, I think it's time that we do something like this. Oh, no, you're never going to get that. Man, I didn't think this out very well. Okay, here's a good one. Multiple choice. This is in the drama category. How old was Orson Welles when he directed Citizen Kane, considered by many to be the greatest film ever made? Here's your choices. Was he 32, 42, or 25?
I would say 42.
Okay. Well, chat, anybody want to try to answer that?
Oh, I don't get to?
Oh, no, sorry. Rachel, God, oh my God. Rachel Steele.
I think he was 25.
Oh, absolutely. You got it.
And the DP was Greg Toland, and it was shot on the Mitchell BNC, right? And
the Mitchell BNC. You want to know what? When I went to...
sitting, the actual camera, I have a photo of me with the actual camera.
Oh, yeah.
Sitting at the ASC Clubhouse.
Really?
Hollywood.
It's there because it was at Mark Armstead for a while, and they had it, and then believe it or not, they had that camera for a while at LA City College in the broadcast department, where I just decided for the heck of it to take a film class, which is how I got into film, and I actually learned that camera because we had a professor named Peter Gibbons who was head of the camera department at CBS Studio Center. He'd been an operator on the Cinerama films, like How the West Was Won.
Wow.
And this those big three. This guy had operated on some of those. You could not spend an hour with this guy without loving filmmaking so much that's what you wanted to do. He was an amazing guy. But yeah, that camera, you're right. It's a Mitchell BNC.
Yeah, it's at the ASC Clubhouse. I've done.
Wow, that's so cool that it's there.
With it, I did a selfie of it with a few different ASCDPs.
You should probably, you're using some acronyms right now that are just as like worse than Scientology.
A little too movie. Yeah,
No,
I speak one language, which is movie. Director of photography.
Yeah, but ASC is the
EP, and ASC is the American Society of Cinematographers. And if you
Right.
watch a film and you wait for the credits for the cinematographer or director of photography to come up, if it says a name and then comma ASC, it means they were invited into this guild that's very hard to get into. And so they're the top American cinematographers in our country.
Or it could be a BSc, which is British Society of Cinematographers.
Yes, BSc, CSC, Canadian Society of
Yeah,
Cinema. And
but- and
sometimes they
occasionally-
have both.
Yeah, sometimes they have both. So yeah, I know that camera. Mitchell was a very famous camera company, and a BNC stands for Blimp News Camera. And a blimp is a soundproofing device, so it basically meant that it was a camera that was suitable for sound recording. It was also ginormous.
And they put it in the floor. Greg Tolan put it in the floor, cut a hole in the floorboards and for the deep focus and all kinds of
So I'm not going to ask you any more Citizen Kane questions. Obviously, I have a Greg Tolan.
Xanadu.
Well, hey, I had an idea.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ready? Not that I'm competitive, but I want to say whoever wins this tonight gets to pick a movie that the opposite person has to watch before next Tuesday.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I like it.
That sounds good.
And I'll watch it even if I won, but yeah.
Yeah, I'll
like
watch
a book
it.
club, but with movies.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so Rachel, I'm not asking you any more Citizen Kane questions, but I will tell you that mind-blowing fact about Greg Tolan, who, by the way, was the cinematographer of Citizen Kane, and Orson Welles, who was 25 years old and never made a film, and he went to Greg Tolan and said, "I don't know what I'm doing. I've never made a film." And Greg Tolan said, "Don't worry about it. I can teach you everything in 2 weeks." And then he went on and made the greatest film ever. So, we've always really
trust your cinematographer.
Yeah, exactly. The lesson for that is, if you're really lucky, can you see this? This is the Mitchell
There we go.
BNC.
Yeah, we see it.
Yeah, that could
And
even
then
be.
the ASC made a T-shirt with this camera sketched on it.
Okay, so you see the little acorn on the lens hood that says Mitchell?
Yeah.
Okay, because so when I was working for Robert Abel, we bought a bunch of old surplus non-blimped Mitchell cameras. We turned them into animation cameras, and so they were scavenging some for parts. So I had some of those Mitchell acorns, and I had one like as a key ring, and
That's so cool.
Yeah. So anyway, they're made out in Sun Valley, California. Like that Mitchell Camera Company was like an LA thing, big deal, because they basically invented what's called a pin registered movement that made the film steady. That was really the standard of the industry for a long, long time. Huge innovation. Okay, so who's next? Oh, so here's the thing I want to tell you, Rachel. Greg Tolan shot the Song of the South, the Disney film, the famously racist Disney film, which was like blew my mind.
Aww.
I know, because I'm like, Greg Tolan, no. Somebody's, I don't think they're complaining. This is...
You've only gotten through 4 questions, but we love it.
Sorry,
yeah.
And Mitchie has like 137 questions.
No, I don't. I only
video clips and photos.
Hey, I'm stalling. I only have 5. Okay.
Hey guys, dig in. We're going for 4 hours tonight.
No, we're not.
Oh, God. No, I have to shoot tomorrow.
Yeah, we're not. So okay, let's do the next one. Who's next?
It is Rachel, because she stole my question.
Okay, I think you'll know this. Okay, this
Cheers.
will be good. Okay,
Cheers.
What film? This is from Action Adventure. What film is most often cited as having the most intense car chase of any film? Was it? And now this is multiple choice.
It's not The Fast and the Furious.
Was it Bullet, starring Steve McQueen, The French Connection, starring starring Gene Hackman, or The Italian Job, the original Italian Job?
The Italian Job.
Okay, so
I mean, the Mini Coopers,
yeah.
Come on. I mean, if you tell me it's not The Italian Job, you're wrong.
It's Bullet.
No, it's The Italian Job.
No,
That's
it's
what I was
Bullet.
going to guess.
It's Bullet. No, okay, it's Bullet. And I'll tell you, here's the thing. No, Rachel, it's Bullet. You need to go back and watch this. Bullet was shot by Billy Fraker, who I was very lucky. He's a cinematographer. I got to work with him on that film, Dusty and Sweet Smeagol. He shot that film that I was in, and the one that I got into Scientology off of. And Billy he told me this story. There's a scene in the film where
thank you, Sarah.
Steve McQueen chases the perp down to the San Francisco airport. They have a foot race in the airport. He shoots the guy, and the crowd is in such shock. This one woman grabs her kid and puts her hand over his eyes, and it's so believable. And Billy said, "Oh yeah, they didn't know there was a film. They thought we actually shot a guy." And he got this reaction shot of this woman who literally thought she just saw a guy being shot. So there's another.
Well, I have an homage to that I put into a drag queen music video.
Homage to a kid being shot, or to the
having the covering the eyes.
The one from it's actually
the parent
an homage
covering
to Bullet.
The kid's eyes.
Yeah, you mean Well, okay. Do you want to tell us a little more about that?
You have to go watch the music video.
Okay, great. You sent me a link.
Flamey Grant. She's the first drag queen to top the Christian music charts.
Really? How does that work?
And she's a drag queen, and she's Christian, and she loves gospel music, and so her drag name is Flamey Grant.
Flamey Grant.
Like Amy Grant.
I'm going to check her out.
And she wrote a bunch of songs, did an album. She sang at our wedding, actually.
No kidding.
Yeah. And then I said, if you sing at my wedding, I'll shoot a music video for you. So I shot a music video for her. It did really well. And then she's taken off in the last year. And it's obviously very controversial. But she's a great singer-songwriter, and has gotten to #1 on the music Christian music charts.
Wow, which is a huge Christian music's a huge space.
It's a huge space, and it's not necessarily very drag queen friendly, but apparently a lot of people love it and she wants Christianity because it's a thing for her. She wants it to be welcoming to everyone, and she feels like that's the true.
Well, it should be. I mean, the current Pope has welcomed the LGBTQIA plus community into the church, and he's told his bishops that God loves all his children and they should not be prejudiced. I don't know. You're aware of that, Rachel, I'm sure. Did you hear his statement? It was pretty amazing.
But from what time? It goes back and
like a couple of years ago.
But the Pope goes back and forth on it.
Does he really? See, I just read the positive stuff and then I just shut off. Like, okay, I'm good. Yeah, I did not know that. So he got some
obviously
pushback
my feed. You know how social media works and stuff. So my feed gives me a lot of bad news.
Say it again.
My feed gives me a lot of bad news. But anyway, Flamey Grant is out there, fighting for inclusivity of all types of people within, her religion. That's
fantastic. That's great.
I'm not Christian, but I love that she's trying to. Create
of course. She's doing a good thing. Hey, if you have a link, post it, or I'm going to make you show us the music video the next time we go on, because I literally am dying to see it. So let me think here. Okay, so we were talking about what film? Okay, so
it's my turn.
Yeah,
but hold on. We're not done here. That was a by the way. You don't really deserve it.
Wait, just so you know, the chat agreed with Rachel on her answer, not what you thought the correct one was.
Okay, fine, but I don't even think they've seen Bullet. But I just want to tell you something, okay? So there's another thing about Bullet that's amazing, which you can only know if you watched it with it could only be discovered because I think of the remote control, but on the big car chase, the big iconic car chase in the films, they're jumping, they're going off the kills, and it's crazy. And the hubcaps, a hubcap occasionally flies off of Steve McQueen's car. And if you count the hubcaps, he loses 7 hubcaps in that chase. So somebody was not paying attention to hubcap continuity, right? So, but I just, there's probably the guy who did the French Connection was a guy named Remy Julien, right? Remy, I don't know if you've heard of him. Rachel, have you ever heard of Remy Julien? His family, he's dead, but his family still runs a stunt driving company in France, and they're the most famous stunt drivers in the entire world. they've done. I think they did the French Connection. I know they did. No, actually, they didn't do the French Connection. They did Ronin. Did you ever see Ronin with Robert De Niro, which is one of the best chase movies ever?
Yes.
But
yes, actually it is.
Yeah, it was really amazing. But we were very here. Let me find this video. Remy Julien. I bring this up because there's two things about. Before I forget, I just want to say something I meant to mention about Bullitt is that Steve McQueen did his own driving. And Tom Cruise has nothing on Steve McQueen in terms of doing his own stunts. I mean, when you look at the driving Steve McQueen did in Bullitt, it's like Tom Cruise has never done anything like that, not even hanging off the side of an airplane. So, people like to talk about how Tom did his own stunts, but, he pales in comparison I think, also as an actor with Steve McQueen. The Blues Brothers is actually way up there as a record holder. But
That's what I remember as a kid. My dad, I must have watched Blues Brothers 50 times. My dad loved that movie.
It has a very famous chase scene in it, but it's not because it's for a different reason. But I want to show you.
Mission from God.
Yeah, I want to show you guys a clip. This guy Remy Julien, who's a stunt driver, became so famous that they featured him in a TV ad, and I want you to watch the ad because it's absolutely incredible.
Let's see.
So.
Few men can do and live. My name is Remy Julien. I am a professional stunt driver. Sometimes I make the slightest timing and my stunt fails. So we pull the car out and try again later. When you do what I do for a living, you choose your car very, very carefully. It must be durable, but most of all, it must be very reliable. That is why, for my most dangerous stunts, I will only choose Fiats. My car is now ready again to fall down the waterfalls. The engine has been flushed and the spark plugs changed. And this time, it works. You see, I believe in myself. I believe in Fiats.
So there you go. That's what happens when they decide that stunt car drivers should do TV commercials. But that commercial stuck in my mind forever. And whenever I think about stunt driving, I think about that. So okay.
I believe in Fiat.
I believe
in Fiat.
Yeah. We used to say it was like a catchphrase. My name is Remy Julien. And we used to joke that Remy Julien, who was like Lassie, there were a bunch of them. If one of them died, they just pull out the next one and throw him in a car. Because the guy did these outrageous stunts.
It's funny because Fiats are notorious for being paper thin.
Yeah, so what was the guy doing in a Fiat? Okay, here we go. Sterling.
Yes.
The people in the chat want more questions answered. So now this one is on you.
Do you want me to pick?
I do.
I'm going to go with comedy, romantic comedy.
Okay, good choice. Good choice. So let me see what we got here. Okay. So who wrote and directed Sleepless in Seattle? Was it Nora Ephron?
Nora Ephron.
No. Yeah, no, I just blew that. I thought it was multiple choice. Yeah, it was Nora Ephron. The answer is Nora Ephron. I forgot to put multiple choice there, but I think you knew that.
You could have just started asking.
I think we even
just adding random names.
Yeah, I didn't rehearse this.
Was it Nora Ephron? Mitch Brisker?
Yeah, exactly. I should have just.
Stevens.
I don't want to say her name, but it rhymes with Ephron. Thank you.
Yeah, no, but I just have to say that she was originally, because I wrote this and I want to say it, she was originally a journalist who helped break the glass ceiling for women in journalism, and she made a significant impact on romantic comedies through her biting and strong female characters. Okay, so Sterling, because I kind of screwed that one up, I'm going to ask you another one, okay?
Yep.
That I know you're not going to get.
Probably not.
Yeah, here we go. So, Preston Sturges' 1941 classic, Sullivan's Travels, one of my favorite movies, was the inspiration for which Coen Brothers film?
Sullivan's Travels. Where art thou?
No, that's close, but you didn't get it.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
Ding, 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 ding. You didn't really give him a chance to answer. And as a special bonus,
well,
but that's fine.
So I got the right movie. I just didn't say the name.
You didn't say the title right.
You had to say the title.
What?
So
Well,
you should give him the point. You should give him the point if he sings the song from the Soggy Bottom Boys.
Guys,
now.
I've never seen the movie, and I just
I'll give him the point if he can tell me who the female lead was in Sullivan's Travels.
I've never seen the movie. I just guessed it.
Yeah. Okay. So you've never seen the movie. I have a little.
You've never seen Sullivan's Travels? You need to watch some Preston Sturges. Preston Sturges is also the first to ever be credited as writer-director.
Yeah. No, he was not just the first to ever be credited. He was the first to ever write his own film.
Wow.
Which is why it was the first to ever be
credited. I know.
You don't know that other people didn't write their own films. They just weren't given the credit.
No, I know that they didn't. He was literally the first.
Because you were there?
Yeah, I was close enough. Yeah, in a past life. No,
I have a feeling there were a lot of women directing. I have a feeling that they were getting shafted in the beginning days.
But I don't know that they were writing. Like, who are you thinking of? You're absolutely right. Ida Lupino.
Oh, I have no idea what was going on, but I know I know the history of Hollywood up until this very day is that people do things that don't get credited for them.
Okay, he was the first person to be credited, while many women who are suspected of having written their films went unnoticed. Is that better? Does that sound? No, you could be right. I mean, I'm just going to give it to you.
We'll never know, is my point.
Yeah, no, your point is well taken. I mean, I sort of always assumed that, but that's just because I'm like, I'm programmed by the patriarchal society that we live in. I mean, I'm the first one to admit that. I'm not even trying to be snarky with you.
No, it's just a thing of our industry, and it's
totally
changing. I still showed up on a set this past week and rolled up, and the key grip came out, and he goes, "Oh, are you the first AC?" And I said, "No, I'm the DP." And he was like, "Oh, shoot, I didn't, because he just assumed that a girl's not going to be a DP. It's just because he doesn't see it ever."
Well, Sullivan's Travels is, for you, those of you who don't know. But Rachel, let me just comment on that. It's just like, it's those days are numbered. You're going to be showing up soon, and they're going to be saying, "Hey, Rachel Hastings is here," and they're going to know exactly who you are. So, I would treasure these days of anonymity, because I think you're on your way to something really big.
Well, not me, but just.
No, I mean within your chosen profession. I don't mean we don't lionize directors of photography the way we do other people. So, but for those of you out there who don't know who Preston Sturges was, he was the person who inspired Orson Welles to go to Hollywood.
And he was hilarious, like all his films.
Hey, would you like to see a clip from Sullivan's Travels? Yes. Would you like to actually get a taste? This is like, this will remind you of the Coen brothers, because pretty much every film they ever made is an homage to Preston Sturges. So here we go. I might have to restart this, but this is from the opening scene, came right after the opening credits of Sullivan's Travels. It's just loading. Bear with me.
Carry on modern conditions.
Hold on. I'm going to have to start this over. The guy talking is Sullivan. He's a film director. Here we go.
I want this picture to be a commentary on modern conditions, stark realism, the problems that confront the average man.
But with a little sex.
A little, but I don't want to stress it. I want this picture to be a document. I want to hold a mirror up to life. I want this to be a picture of dignity, a true canvas of the suffering of humanity.
But with a little sex.
With a little sex in it.
How about a nice musical?
How can you talk about musicals at a time like this, with the world committing suicide, with corpses piling up in the street, with grim death gargling at you from every corner, with people slaughtered like sheep?
Maybe they'd like to forget that.
Then why do they hold this one over for a fifth week at the music hall? For the ushers?
It died in Pittsburgh.
Like a dog.
What do they know in Pittsburgh?
They know what they like.
If they knew what they like, they wouldn't live in Pittsburgh. That's no argument. If you pander to the public, you'd still be in the horse age.
You think we're not? Look at Hopalong Carefree.
You look at them. We'd still be making Keystone Chases, Bathing Beauties, custard pie
and
operas.
A fortune.
Fortune. Of course, I'm just a minor employee here, Mr. LeBrand.
Hey, starting that one again.
I wanted to make you something outstanding. Something you could be proud of. Something that would realize the potentialities of film as the sociological and artistic medium that it is, with a little sex in it. Something like
Capra. I know.
What's the matter with Capra?
Look, you want to make a brother without doubt?
Yes.
Now, wait a minute.
Then go ahead and make it.
What you're getting, I can't afford to argue with you.
That's a fine way to start a man out on $1 million production.
You want it, you got it. I can take it in the chin. I've taken it before.
Not from me, you haven't.
Not from you, Sully, that's true. Not with pictures like So Long, Sarong, Hey Hey and the Hayloft, Ants in Your Plants of 1939, but they weren't about tramps, and lockouts, sweatshops, people eating garbage in alleys, and living in piano boxes and ash cans and Foy. They're about nice, clean young people who fell in love with laughter and music and legs. Now take that scene in Hey Hey and the
But you
Hayloft.
don't realize conditions have changed. There isn't any work, there isn't any food. These are troublous times.
What do you know about trouble?
What do I know about trouble?
Yes, what do you know about trouble?
What do you mean, what do I know about trouble?
Just what I'm saying. You want to make a picture about garbage cans. What do you know about garbage cans? When did you eat your last meal out of one?
Well, what's that got to do with it?
He's asking you.
You want to make an epic about misery. You want to show hungry people sleeping in doorways.
The newspapers around them.
You want to grind 10,000 feet of hard luck. And all I'm asking you is, what do you know about hard
Yes.
What do you mean, what do I know about hard luck? Don't you think
No.
I've... What?
luck? You have not. I sold newspapers till I was 20. Then I worked in a shoe store and put myself through law school at night. Where were you at 20?
Well, I was in college.
When I was 13, I supported 3 sisters and 2 brothers and a widowed mother. Where were you at 13?
I was in boarding school, I'm sorry.
Well, you don't have to be ashamed of it, Sully. That's the reason your pictures have been so light, so cheerful, so inspiring.
They don't stink with messages.
That's why I paid you $500 a week when you were 24.
750 when you were 25.
1,000 when you were 26.
When I was 26, I was getting 18.
2,000 when you were 27.
I was getting 25 then.
I just opened my shooting gap. 3,000 after thanks for yesterday.
4,000 after answering your
I
plan.
suppose you're trying to tell me I don't know what trouble is.
Yes.
In a nice way, Sully.
You're absolutely right. I haven't any idea what it is.
People always like what they don't know anything about.
Certainly had a lot of nerve wanting to make a picture about human suffering.
You're a gentleman to admit it, Sully. But then you are anyway.
So there you go. That was just.
That was a lot of dialogue.
Yeah, but wasn't that great? I mean,
Yeah,
come
it
on,
was
they don't know how
awesome.
to. They don't know how to make pictures anymore.
The skill
And
level.
No cuts. No cuts.
Yeah, no cuts. Yeah,
was one
exactly.
take.
Yeah, and so the punchline is Sully decides he needs to go off and learn about human misery, and he learns a great lesson and has a great adventure, but he never gets the film "Oh Brother, We're Out There" made, and so then the Coen brothers decided they would make the
make
film.
the film.
Yeah, so
Oh, wow.
that's kind of the whole punchline of the thing. But
My favorite line was that they live in Pittsburgh. They don't know what they want.
yeah, exactly. They live in Pittsburgh. How could they know what they want?
He also has quite some comedic moments in many of the films.
They're completely comedies until the end. Then they become really ironic, and then they become uplifting. And he was actually the first director who was credited to do that. He was actually the director. Actually, who's up next?
I believe it's Rachel.
Is that you, Rachel? Are you up next? Yeah, you're up next.
Probably. Sure.
Yeah, I think you
Whatever.
are. So I'm gonna ask you a comedy one, another one about Preston Sturges. Okay. So here we
let's
go.
see.
What film director is credited for having first combined irony with comedy? No, I blew it. This is like I gave you the answer. I'm no good at this.
You just
Anyway,
said his name.
I just said it. So anyway, it says, but we'll finish it anyway. So resulting in such classics as Sullivan's Travels, The Lady Eve, The Great McGinty, was it Preston Sturges, Frank Hopper, or Billy Wilder? And you would have said Preston Sturges. So I completely messed that one up. Okay.
The Lady
that's-
Eve. What's the Preston Sturges film where that guy has to that's that character actor who is in everything, and he has to get he's like getting drafted or something, and he has to get married, but he is like under a false
Oh.
name, and this girl ropes him into getting married, and he's trying to say his name and he can't say it, and he's like Ignatius
No, I know the film.
Retsky. I used to just, I remember seeing that in high school and just
Yeah.
dying laughing. And all my friends, I would try to get them to watch these films, and they'd be like, "Can we watch TGI Friday?
Yeah,
we-
exactly.
Can we watch Full House?"
Yeah, you can always tell a filmmaker because they like to go to movie theaters by themselves and watch movies that they can't get their friends to go see with them. So,
Oh,
can't
did
tell-
you know? Did y'all hear that Quentin Tarantino has opened a theater, and they're putting and he's got like a film projector in it, of course, but he's
Well-
also putting in a 28-seat theater. It's not done yet, and it's going to have a VHS projector.
What?
Yes, so I want to.
That part I didn't know.
I
About.
want
knew
to
about the
print
theater.
One of the features I've shot recently. I haven't told the producers or anybody else this idea, but print it onto VHS and then do a VHS showing of it,
Oh,
Why not?
like a VHS screening of it
Right.
in this theater.
That's crazy.
That's the theater right next to SMP, right?
Sorry, I was trying to get
That's the theater next to SMP, isn't it? The famous little theater
it's right by SMP. The Vista.
Well, he
Vista?
did. Yeah. Oh, he bought the Vista. Yeah, that's across the street.
I've seen movies there.
Well, because
I filmed in that theater for something Tehran was doing.
Oh wow.
Tehran was directing. I filmed that in that theater for the church.
That's a classic old East Hollywood theater. It's actually a real movie house. But I think doesn't Tarantino own the Cinematheque, which used to be the Egyptian? I don't think
he owns the Cinematheque.
Oh, I thought he did.
I don't think so. I could be wrong.
Somebody in the chat, Google that. Cinematheque, Hollywood.
There's been news on the Cinematheque, and
really?
it's been being maybe, I don't remember. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the real question is what's going to happen to the Cinerama Dome?
I heard it's been purchased.
Yeah, hopefully not by Netflix, because they're right down the street. And I was thinking, they could buy it, and they'd have to show films that they didn't make. So that's probably why they won't.
The Cinerama Dome's still open right now, isn't it?
No, it closed during the pandemic. The ArcLight went bankrupt, who owned it, and closed all of their theaters. It's been boarded up, and they can't tear it down because it's a protected piece of architecture.
I saw Top Gun with Greg Wilhair there when I was a kid.
No kidding. What did I see there? I saw
Greg Wilhair.
I know, right? How random is that?
That's so random.
Pretty random. What did I see? I saw Apocalypse there the day it opened. The day that film opened, my entire office, I worked in an office in Hollywood, the entire office, we just closed the office and we went to an afternoon show because it was that big a deal.
Yes.
Like the anticipation on Apocalypse Now, it was beyond Star Wars. Because nobody knew that, everybody thought Star Wars was going to be like Buck Rogers. Even my friends who were working on it thought, yeah, it's an outer sci-fi movie for kids. Nobody really knew how amazing it was, but everybody knew how amazing Apocalypse was.
Didn't Star Wars inspire L. Ron Hubbard to try to delve into the movie business, essentially?
No,
was
I don't
it not
think
that
so.
movie?
Well, he wrote Battle Beyond the Stars. I mean, I think
it inspired a specific thing that he wrote. No, I think it was he'd already written scripts and stuff, but
but I think it was Battle Beyond the Stars.
Something.
Yeah, it inspired him to go, what the fuck was I doing? With this stupid cult for all these years when I could have made Star Wars. I should have been the one to make that movie. The movie made billions of dollars, and I know he was really pissed off because he's like, no, I own space opera. That's me. And then that's when he wrote Battlefield Earth, and then he wrote Battle Beyond the Stars, which was, this film script based on the OT3 Xeno story without the word Xeno in it. And it was pretty crazy, pretty nutty. But I know that he was really upset because he felt sort of like the golden age of science fiction was over and the whole space opera thing, no one was interested in it anymore. And then Star Wars came around and he was like, no.
Because no one expected that movie. No one expected that movie to do anything. Wasn't there a famous
bet? I think George Lucas did.
Yeah, wasn't there a famous bet between Lucas and Spielberg? Didn't they offer each other some like 1% of each other's movies?
Yeah, that's a really
third kind.
That's a really funny story. So here's a story that should actually be tied into one of our questions tonight, but I'll just go ahead and tell you the story. So there's a guy named John Milius. A lot of you might have heard of him. He wrote Apocalypse Now. He directed Big Wednesday. Wrote and directed Big Wednesday. He wrote and directed Red Dawn. He's an interesting guy. He used to be one of my older brother's surfing buddies. He was grew up in Santa Monica surfing and shit. And so Milius made this film, which I highly recommend everybody watch, called Big Wednesday. Some people say did you ever see that, Rachel, Big Wednesday?
I don't think so.
Some people say that it's the greatest surf movie ever made. It's like a legitimate widescreen dramatic film about coming of age in the Vietnam War, some surfers, right? And so he made it around the same time that Lucas was doing Star Wars and Spielberg was doing Close Encounters, and they were friends because he was the first. He was the first director who had gone to film school, right? And So the story is, and it's been verified by, I mean, the people who were involved have talked about it, that Lucas and Spielberg thought that Big Wednesday was going to be the greatest American coming of age film ever made. It wasn't. It was a box office flop. It became a classic. I love the film. I watched it again a couple of years ago, and I highly recommend people to watch it. So they made this deal. They both thought Big Wednesday was going to be bigger than American Graffiti. So they all traded points with each other. So so Milius got a point in Star Wars and a point in Close Encounters, and then Lucas, got like a point in Big Wednesday. And you get what I'm saying? So Milius made out like a bandit because Lucas and Spielberg got basically points in a film that made no money, and those two guys and Milius got points in Star Wars and Close Encounters. Oh, but wow. An interesting little piece of trivia about Big Wednesday is that it was starring, now I can't think of her name, Scientologist was the female lead, and the film, she was not just the female lead, she was like the emotional center of the film, and she probably would have had Lee Purcell. Do you remember her? Rachel, any of you guys?
I remember the name.
Yeah, Lee. She was an up-and-coming actress. She co-starred. She was the female lead in Milius's Big Wednesday. She did a number of features, much of TV, and then she just never. I mentioned to her not long before I left Scientology. I ran into her and I said, "Hey, Lee, I just watched Big Wednesday. I forgot you were in it. You were like amazing. She's really good in this film," and. She kind of turned white and felt very uncomfortable. I think something happened between her and Milius that he just didn't like her or whatever, and because she kind of didn't get a lot of work after that, and she was like the buzz, like people were talking about her performance when that film was made. So anyway, I want to jump into who's next because I got a couple.
Sterling?
Was it? Yeah, because you gave the last answer to Rachel, so it's me.
Yes, yeah. So you need to pick something like foreign language. Okay, cool.
That's not fair.
No, you're not. That's not fair. Okay, go ahead. Pick
I'll go. I'll meet you halfway. I'll do drama.
Oh, okay, cool. You're gonna do drama. Okay, let me see. What do we got here? Let me see. Try not to screw this.
And if it's a movie before
at least one. If it's anything before 19 what?
76, I'm out, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, damn.
No, hey, I'll go at it. I mean, I'm good at guessing.
Yeah. Some of these. Okay. I can't do that one. Can't do that one. Okay. Here's an easy one for you. In the 1957 classic courtroom drama, 12 Angry Men. How many angry men were there? No, I'm just kidding.
What was the color of George Washington's white horse?
Yeah, no. So who famous? This is multiple choice, so you got a shot at this. Who famously played juror number 8? Was it Henry Fonda, Gregory Peck? Henry Fonda. I had him in there twice. I don't know why. Or Spencer Tracy.
It was Gregory Peck.
No, it was Henry Fonda. Okay, ding, ding, ding. Oh, I'm sorry, Rachel. I should have given you a chance. God, I'm so bad at this. Okay.
This is a trial run, Mitch. This is a trial run.
You should watch that film if you like films, though.
Yeah, no, you should, and not the remake.
Not the remake.
12 Angry Men.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it has some famous. It's intense. There's many reasons to watch it as like an educational.
Yeah, it's a hugely influential film. So
guys, I'm absolutely writing these down. I like I said, I finished Urban Cowboy last night.
Hey, what'd you think of that?
Well, it took me four nights to get through it. So what do you think?
Oh, you didn't really like it? I like that film a lot.
No, I liked it. It's hard to see John Travolta in that role, knowing his other roles. I thought he did a good job. The only part that bugged me was the accident scene where he flips upside down. The way they shot that, I thought was so cheesy with the sound, and it was like,
fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, he was a little tough to take because he's such a New York kid as a cowboy.
Right. But I got to tell you, Deborah Winger was so hot.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's
and I mean, such a good actress too. Yeah. And funny enough, I only knew her from Wonder Woman.
Really? Not from an officer and an officer and a gentleman in a bunch of films. She's a great actress.
What? I did see Officer and a Gentleman when I was a kid, but it was a little brutal for me, so I don't really. didn't remember everything.
Yeah, I'll tell
Wonder
you.
Woman.
I'll tell you. I
Wonder
probably
Woman
should.
all the way.
Yeah,
The original Wonder Woman was awesome.
it was.
They're
Yeah.
The current Wonder Woman's.
Well, no,
also
I did not like the second movie.
No, it was
loved
really
or
bad.
just the
first movie.
actual Wonder Woman.
Oh,
The
you mean
actor.
I'm
Gal?
not even talking
You
about
mean?
the movies.
Oh, you mean Gal
Yeah.
Gadot, right?
Gal
Gadot.
Gadot. Yeah,
Oh,
she's
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, I ran into her. Is it Gadot? Or I don't think it's Gadot.
I thought it's Gadot.
No, I don't think so. I don't think
Really?
so. Yeah, I think because they don't talk that way in Israel. It's more like Gadot. I think I ran into her. I saw her at Gelson's when she was living in Studio City near me.
Did she use the truth lasso on you?
She used it to keep her husband in line. She was with her husband, and she kind of used it to sort of keep his gaze, properly oriented. So,
It's hard to keep the gaze oriented.
It is, but yeah, men are so terrible.
Wow.
Yeah, so a lot of people.
Speaking of John Travolta, though, have you been to a movie in a theater recently? Either of you?
Yeah, I went to see the dreadful movie
Oh, Oppenheimer.
Oppenheimer. Yeah.
No, more recently, because John Travolta is
No.
playing Disco Santa in the ads before the previews.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I saw the
like-
commercial.
Yeah, the commercial.
Well,
And they're playing it in the.
I had a really
theater.
juicy tidbit that I was going to tell you guys, and I got thrown off. You guys are really
By
good at
Disco Santa.
Yeah, it was a little
I don't know
before
why
that.
that would be distracting. By Wonder Woman.
Yeah, Wonder
By the way,
Woman.
I liked Oppenheimer, just for the record.
Yeah, no, yeah. Anyway, I may not have liked it because I saw it in IMAX, and it's a dreadful format, and you can't get far enough back to actually see the film. He's watching the film like this. You're like, what am I looking at? And the music's too loud. So I'm going to watch it again in a proper format. But I thought it was.
Your iPhone.
Sorry.
Watch it on a proper format. Your iPhone.
Yeah. Right. Right. Did I ever show you the David Lynch iPhone, the fake David Lynch iPhone ad? Did you ever see that?
No.
Oh, anyway, Google that when we're done. Just Google. It's probably on YouTube. David Lynch iPhone ad. It's a fake ad, and it's exactly about what you're talking about. People think people watch a phone on their iPhone, and they think they've seen the movie. Such a tragedy. So anyway, it's David Lynch, and it's just absolutely hysterical. I knew a lot of Sea Org members who watch films on their phones, and ones who were lucky enough to have iPods or phones or whatever. Anyway, Deborah Winger, I knew her a little bit. We had a lot of mutual friends, and I was at parties with her and spoke with her. And she was famous for sleeping with her leading man as part of her job. It's like, I got to have a romantic, with whether it was Richard Gere, who I heard wouldn't sleep with her, or John Travolta, who wouldn't sleep with her. And apparently she was really difficult to deal with on Urban Cowboy because she could never get John to sleep with her. So anyway.
She didn't sleep with Scott Glenn?
Method.
Yeah, method.
yeah, very method actor. Okay, good. So let me see.
Scott Glenn was actually pretty good in that movie. I was surprised.
He's a good actor. I'm sorry, Scott.
Can I ask a movie question to both you experts?
Sure. Yeah.
What'd you guys think of The Right Stuff?
The Right Stuff is a great classic film. Oh no, The Right Stuff is a great film.
One of my favorite films growing up.
Yeah. Did you ever read the book?
Oh, cool.
No.
Oh, you should read the book. You should absolutely read the book because it's one of the few books you'll ever read where you'll be so happy with the film. There's a couple of things left out of the book, which is.
But I was a giant Chuck Yeager fan as a kid too. Like I loved everything about him, his stories, and that's why I have a P-51 Mustang in a picture behind me as well.
Well, you'll be interested to know that Chuck Yeager's hero, Clay Lacey, was a pilot that I flew with doing motion picture work. So
is this the Clay Lacey that they have the FBOs named after now?
Yeah, Clay Lacey Aviation. It's a company out of
okay.
That Clay Lacey.
Wow.
He was the all-time most winningest. The Reno air races. They race around pylons and P-51s.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, he used to fly a jet for a company called Astrovision, and they had like periscope cameras sticking out of it. So I flew with Clay a couple of times, and he was. He was a Chuck Yeager character, and he'd do real fun things. I mostly was with him to shoot clouds, right? And so he'd talk to the towers and find out where the clouds were, and maybe it was in Monterey or Northern California. You're in a Learjet, so it's like whatever. You're there in 20 minutes, right? It's like or 40 minutes, and so he would do fun things along the way, like take the plane 95% weightless, do barrel rolls and just like crazy stuff.
Yeah,
It's
fun
a lot
if
of
you're
fun.
the pilot. Not
Yeah,
the
apparently doing
passenger.
barrel rolls in a small jet is not an easy thing to do.
Oof.
So
Yeah, I've been in a lot of different types of jets, and yeah, it's fun is defined by the pilot, not the passenger.
yeah. Well, that depends on who's with you in the passenger cabin.
That's true. That's
So
true.
okay, look, Rachel's had a long day, so I want to get moving here so we can wrap up. Are you okay, Rachel?
No, I'm like definitely like gonna fall asleep soon.
Yeah, that's cool. So if you fall asleep, Sterling and
Answer
I,
for me.
yeah,
if I fall
yeah, we'll
asleep.
just pretend you're awake, and I'll try.
Guys, this is my only chance of winning is Rachel falling asleep.
Yeah,
so.
exactly. There you
I
go.
think you are winning.
Okay, Rachel, I got a good one for you. Okay, which is one I also want to talk to the audience about. It's your turn, right? Isn't it your?
Yes,
it's your turn.
yes, it is.
Okay, so here we
Sure.
go. What 1940? This is foreign language. I'm picking for you.
Oh no.
What 1949 French masterpiece was based on the Greek myth of Orpheus and Eurydice, but set in modern-day Paris?
1940 what?
1949 French classic was based on the Greek myth of, here's a hint, Orpheus and Eurydice, but set in modern-day Paris.
I know this. I can't remember.
But okay, well, you can't win them all. Hold on, Sterling. Any chance that you might know anything about this?
I think it was a Steven Seagal vehicle.
That was 1949, so he only would have been like a few years old. He wouldn't have been very old.
So then I'll pass.
Okay, well, I have a trailer for the film, and it's one of my favorite films. And I'm going to show you the trailer. This was a restored trailer. They did a 4K scan. So we're going to check this out right now. This is the film that was referring to. Just loading it up. Here we go.
Où allons-nous? Faudra-t-il que je vous oblige à vous taire?
Votre nom?
Orphée.
Votre profession?
Poète. Il n'y a qu'un amour qui compte. C'est le nôtre. Votre femme habite un autre monde. Il vous reste une chance. Le miroir. Il ne s'agit pas de comprendre. Il s'agit de croire.
That's cool.
Dormez-vous debout? Je le crois.
Si vous dormez, si vous rêvez, acceptez vos rêves. C'est le rôle du dormeur.
Aimez-vous cet homme?
Wow.
Yeah, okay, so that was Orpheus. I made the entire Gold Shoe crew watch that film. I don't know that many of them got it, but it's a remarkable film. If anybody out there has never seen it, you should absolutely watch it because it is just a stunning film. I think
Yeah, I'll watch it. Pretty much anything French or old French.
yeah. Well, I think it's streaming somewhere on one of the streaming services.
Criterion or something.
Yeah, well, definitely it's on. I'm sure it's on Criterion. So,
Pick me. My turn.
It's your turn. Okay, I've got one. General. I'm just going to pick for you.
Okay.
General, and let's see if you can get this. Okay, you'll probably get this one. Which of these three entertainment industries earns the highest income? Video games, sports,
Video games,
or motion picture? Yeah, video games. I used to think that wasn't true because they counted consoles. In other words, they counted devices in that number, and that doesn't count because that would be like the motion picture industry, including back in the day DVD players as part of their income. So, but apparently it's true. So, Rachel's just like, I don't give a shit. That's like boy stuff. I don't fucking care about. Just like video games and sports. Like, who cares? Like, right? Kind of like how I feel about it, except for video games.
I care about it if I get paid to shoot it.
Right.
Yeah, you sound like me. I won't work for anybody who won't hire me. Okay, good.
Hey, Guy, can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Someone wrote. One second, I gotta post. The Atkins, that's funny. And I'm having a great time. I want to make sure that's clear. But just out of consideration for everybody, do we want to go for like 10 more minutes? Do we want to answer some questions?
Oh yeah, we've been for an hour 20. So yeah,
and Rachel, if you're up for it, I would love to do this again with you and Mitch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I have a time limit because
we're almost done. We're almost done here.
Running around shooting all day.
Yeah, I imagine. Yeah, I know.
Cameras, not guns.
I've got a trip coming up on Saturday, so I'm like, I know, I get.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're gonna make this one our last one, and then we'll do some questions and we'll be done.
You got it.
I'm gonna pick this one. Who's this for? Is this for you, Rachel? Right?
Oh, sure.
Yes. Yeah.
There's no one else here, so.
Well, there's. Okay, so this is from horror. Okay, that's horror, not horror. Horror.
Little fact: I don't watch horror movies at all, ever.
Yeah, that's fine. That's why I didn't ask you. But
they don't scare me, and I get nothing out of them. So yeah.
Okay, that's cool. We're all really happy to know that.
Yeah, just want to let you know.
Yeah. So here we go. So Rachel, what is considered to be the first horror film?
Nosferatu?
No. But that's close. Go a little earlier. It was right country. You're in the right country prior to Nosferatu.
The Somnambulist?
Huh?
It's not Metropolis.
No, that would be later.
That's not horror, and that's later.
Yeah. That would be more
earlier
noir.
than Nosferatu.
Earlier than Nosferatu. Earlier. It's considered to be, but it is undoubtedly the first. Of course, the Germans invented the horror genre.
It's not Frankenstein.
No, that would be
That's
American, and later that would be a talkie.
And it's not. I don't know. I can't think of anything earlier.
Isn't it Dracula?
No, that would be later. Okay, so I have a restored trailer from the film. I believe it was 1920. Okay, and I'm not going to tell you the title. You're going to discover it. This is a 4K trailer promoting the 4K restoration of this incredibly influential film.
The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari?
There you go. Ding, ding.
Yeah, there it is. I'm just slow right now. The Somnambulist.
You see, you knew this, Rachel.
Well, I said the Somnambulist. I just couldn't remember the name because I'm tired. Because I am the Somnambulist.
Yeah, right.
Right now. I need to get in my closet.
Yeah, we're going to do some questions and then we're done.
This.
There you go, folks. There you go.
It was a silent film, obviously.
What's that?
Silent film?
Yeah. I mean, that's, if you ever took a film history class, you would definitely see that film. There's a few films that you would see. Okay, so good. We're going to do some questions. Oh, say I have some starred comments. This isn't really a question, but this got starred. I don't know. Somebody starred this. Grease 1 was good, not Grease 2. Yeah, this is true. Like Saturday Night Fever was good, Staying Alive was not. Similar kind of thing. Cosmic Crystal said, just because it happens at Christmas doesn't make it a Christmas movie. Finally, we have clarification for that. That's a good point. We have Matt Elliott, the MAA SPTV Canada. It's good to know who the MAA is up in Canada. So
right.
I'm assuming that.
Well, that's your MAA, your new MAA, Mitch.
Yeah, it's not my new MAA.
For SBTV. Oh, well, I guess you're not under Canada, but I don't think we have one.
Yeah, we don't. Well, we do now. He's up in Canada, Matt Elliott.
It's a good thing we're doing these questions now because OSA must be so freaking bored. They're like, they're just talking about movies like a bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
This is true.
It would be funny if someone from OSA has a little note on the side and they wrote down one of the movies to go watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that might be good.
Yeah, no, I'm sure they're taking notes for their.
This must be one of the more fun assignments. Someone secretly like, that was actually interesting.
Yeah, no, I want to watch them talk about movies. I don't want to watch those guys talk about what shitholes we are. So anyway, the MAA says release date before December 31 to be eligible for the Oscars. So lots of movies released December are not Christmas themed, but released at that time for nomination season. Yeah, that's probably true. So we've heard that. Yeah, I mean, they only need to be in there for like 2 weeks. So what is this? This is like a little bit of film. Spielberg was 29 when it was released.
Jaws.
Yeah, that's right. I guess that was a question. He was playing trivia with us. Oh, he was playing trivia with us.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, but still, Orson Welles beat everybody. Come on, he was 25. That's like insane.
I'm surprised that I had no clue.
Yeah, so and he must have been like 22 or 23 when he did War of the Worlds, when he did the radio show that literally caused people to like jump off of buildings. Okay, so here's a question from Rosalind C. What is Rachel's last name?
I have
IMDb.
like 4 different IMDb's. So I need to get them all put together.
So good luck, Rosalind. Her last name is Hastings. For some reason, she won't just answer the question. That's Hastings with an H.
So you may find one of her alter egos.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a couple different names. I think I have 3 or 4. I have 4 completely different names on IMDb. And I need to get them consolidated, but I'm busy.
Nice. So this is Matt Elliott again, says we're 100 miles from Chicago.
You guys recognize it?
Half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark. We're wearing sunglasses. Hit it. That would be Blues Brothers. What is this all about? By the way, we didn't get to the question. Mm-hmm. I'm going to ask both of you this question real quick because this is just a crazy, crazy question. This is for both of you. You can just have fun with it. Which film holds the record for destroying the most cars?
Oh, that's Blues Brothers.
Yeah, you knew that. Yeah.
Yeah, because the police crash at the on the highway with the
Yeah, so this is multiple choice. Okay. Was it Bullet, The French Connection, or a good day to die, or a good day? Oh no, hold on. It wasn't Blues Brothers. No, you're wrong. It wasn't Blues Brothers.
Really?
No, it wasn't, because I've got it right here. So the multiple choice was Bullet, French Connection, A Good Day to Die Hard, and the answer is A Good Day to Die Hard. Die Hard 2.
Really?
Yeah, they destroyed. This list is gonna kill you. They destroyed 132 cars. The number 2 is G.I. Joe from 2009. They destroyed 112 cars.
Yes, but is it one crash record, or is it throughout the entire length of the film?
Throughout the entire length of the film.
Oh, because then Blues Brothers definitely has the one crash record.
Maybe, but this is Blues Brothers has 105 cars. That's number 3.
Okay.
And Blues Brothers, but also Blues Brothers 1980, the original, is the next one, 104 cars. So Blues Brothers is on the top 5 twice. Gone in 60 Seconds, the original 1974, had 93 cars. And my favorite film, Bullet, only had 80 cars, about 80 cars. So there you go. I just thought you guys would a little parting shot there. So what else do we have? Any more questions here? We've got. Okay, so here's one from Sean Speaks on YouTube. Question: with CGI, AI, will movie stars' likeness be used well after they are gone, or what are your thoughts on the overuse of CGI? Well,
we can answer that better when we get the full ratification of what's been striking. That's been a major part of the SAG strike. The Screen Actors Guild strike is about CGI, and from my understanding, the agreements are that you have to have a person's permission to scan their likeness or to create their likeness with CGI and to use it in a film. And then if they are deceased, their family member has to give permission. If there's not a living family member, permission has to be given by the union, the Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA. And then every time that the likeness is used, whether the actor is famous or a background actor, you have to pay residuals the same way you would as if you actually used the person. So that's what they've been fighting for with this whole. That's one of the major things they've been fighting for with this whole strike, is to put rules and regulations in terms of CGI. And even that, these contracts last for 3 years. So I have a feeling this is going to be negotiated and argued about a lot in the next
yes and no. If I could just add in here, we've already had deceased actors' likenesses being brought back to life. We had Fred Astaire in some TV commercials. We had Humphrey Bogart in TV commercials where they were a combination of old footage and CGI. And there's a guy, I know this guy because I've shot in his office. I didn't meet him personally, but he's one of the wealthiest attorneys that I know of, and he has offices on Sunset Boulevard. And he represents the deceased actors. So they've kind of already covered some of this. The problem is that the technology has just gotten so good that it's going to become more pervasive. But like this particular lawyer, he represents Humphrey Bogart, he represents Elvis Presley, he represents Jane Mansfield. All of these actors that are dead, he represents them for their estate. And any use of their likeness has to be negotiated with his office. And so there will be like very aggressive agents who are going to grab these people and say, no, I represent them. And they'll get represented the same way as live people do, except the money will go, the money will go to their estate or something else. But I think the reason for the fight is because the technology is now so much easier. Whereas when they did Fred Astaire and Humphrey Bogart, it was really difficult, and they just did short little bits. They couldn't star them in a whole movie. But this is definitely an issue that's come up before.
Did you guys see the Black Mirror episode that had a whole thing about that?
No, I actually don't watch that show. It just never appeared to me.
You might like this episode because it was crazy it was really, really fascinating. They looked into that exact thing, Rachel, and they talked about it, and they had this whole thing where someone didn't like that their face was being used.
Oh no, he's frozen.
Oh, did I freeze?
I can still hear you though. Your voice is good.
Keep talking, and you have
You've frozen a pretty good expression too.
Yeah, right.
So just keep talking. You're good.
Well, no, it's really good. It's about AI, and it's also about signing away your rights and them having invasion into your personal life and stuff like that. It's just, if you haven't seen it, it's really good. I think it's got Selma Hayek in it actually as one of the main stars.
Well, I'll check it out. But if I could just comment on the rest of the other part of this question about the overuse of CGI, I have no problem with any amount of CGI. I have a problem with the overuse of just bad ideas for why you would use CGI. I mean, it's just like, it's kind of like, I didn't kill him. The gun in the fall killed him. Oh, we completely lost him. Okay.
Oh no.
Well, we got a couple more questions. I'm going to answer them, then we're going to say goodnight. Maybe he'll come back in. It says, Sean Speaks on YouTube as favorite movie quote ever. Mine, don't think you are, know you are, from The Matrix. Rachel, do you have a favorite movie quote?
I probably do.
Okay, well, when you're a little more awake, I'll ask you again. My favorite movie quote is from Lawrence of Arabia, which I think is the
Ella Rand.
No, not Not that one.
That's my favorite.
Akaba. No, it's none of those. My favorite quote is it's towards the end of the film. I consider Lawrence Arabia to be the best script ever written. It was written by supposedly Michael Bolt, but it was written by Michael Wilson and what's his name, Bolt. But Michael Wilson was really the writer. He was a blacklisted writer who literally didn't get credit till about 30 years ago for having scripted that film. And so anyway, there's a scene towards the end where Lawrence is speaking with Claude Rains, and Claude Rains says, "A man who lies hides the truth, but a man who tells a half-truth forgot where he put it." And that is my favorite movie quote of all times.
The only one I can think of is, do you ever think of yourself as actually dead, lying in a box with a lid on it? No, nor do I, really. And that is from, what is it from?
Self with a box with a lid on it. Can you give me a hint?
Tom Stoppard with Gary Oldman.
Oh, it's a movie, not a TV show?
It's a movie. Oh, God. No, it's not a TV show. It is a movie. It is Shakespeare themed, but it is not Shakespeare.
Shakespeare in Love?
No.
No. Good guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
It happens in and around the plot of Hamlet.
Oh, was it not the one with Tom Stoppard and who else?
Gary Oldman.
Oh, with Gary Oldman, written by Tom Stoppard.
No,
oh yeah, no,
it's written by the guy who, oh my God, I'm so tired. Famous screenwriter.
Well, Tom Stoppard was a pretty famous writer.
Tim Roth. It's Tom Stoppard is the guy who wrote it.
No, that's
and Tim Roth.
Rosencrantz and
Guildenstern are dead.
Yeah, I got it.
Tom Stoppard wrote it, and Tim Roth and Gary Oldman are in it. I'm tired. Yeah, sorry.
But I was
it's like being drunk. I make no sense.
Well, they say lack of sleep is like being drunk, which makes me a full-blown alcoholic. Because I never sleep. So, okay, good to know that you're sipping a martini.
It's because I had my Paloma, so.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
Oh.
Can I answer this one, Mitch, really quickly?
Yeah, I can't wait to see what movie will be.
Yeah, answer it, Sterling.
Here, this one. Sterling, did you not like Alien or The Shining? Some horror flicks aren't worthwhile. So to be clear, I never saw The Shining as a kid. I didn't see it till I was older. Not a fan of horror. I never
horror. Repeat after me. Horror, not horror.
Horror.
It's ham.
Horror.
No, horror. Horror?
It's horror.
Horror. A horror film.
Horror.
Sterling, it's a horror film.
It's a horror film. Horror film. Okay.
It's a horror
film. I don't consider Alien a horror film. I consider it an
it's
action
sci-fi.
film. But
it's sci-fi.
Right. No, it is actually. I have a question in here.
But it is a scary movie. I still, to this day, every once in a while have a nightmare about that movie. But I continue to watch it for some reason.
Sci-fi, action, horror.
No, I have it under. I have it under science fiction, and we didn't cover it tonight. But basically,
but wasn't it considered one of the best action movies of all time after what was all done and said?
No.
No.
Okay, but I don't think so. I think it's basically a science fiction horror film. It's basically action. You know what? It's kind of a genre crossing film. Here's a question for you guys.
Yeah.
You can see if you can answer this. When screenwriter Dan O'Bannon originally pitched Alien, which one of the following lines did he use? Okay. In space, no one can hear you scream.
That one.
Jaws in outer. You've got to listen here. Jaws in outer space, or the scariest movie ever made.
The first one.
Jaws in outer space.
The first one you said was in space, no one can hear you scream. Sorry, Sterling, that was the advertising slogan. The actual pitch he used was Jaws in outer space.
I've heard that story before.
Yeah, I know.
And how did they pitch? Oh, what's this? We'll do it next time.
Yeah, okay.
I have a good one that's like that.
Okay, good. Yeah, good. So,
but I need to have more brain cells online.
Yeah, we need to let you go. But just to be clear, sorry. And I realized now looking at this, not Alien, Aliens was the movie that I liked the most.
Oh,
the second one with Sigourney.
The second one.
Second one was really good.
The James Cameron directed one.
Yeah. It was really good.
Yeah.
It's really good. If you can find the actual shooting script online.
Yeah.
And the shooting script is 50 pages longer than the film. There's 50 pages that I don't even know if he shot it. And I read in an interview, he put it in the script because he just wanted, when people were reading it, he wanted them to read that backstory, although he never intended to make it. But he needed the producers to, it's the 50 years of what happened to Ripley after the first film, because remember, she was in suspended animation for like 57 years. So it's worth downloading that script and reading. I had that assignment from a writing teacher to actually read those. It's amazing. Cameron nobody writes action like him. Action's hard to write because there's no dialogue. And then he hit me, and then he picked up a chair, and he slams Joe over the head with a chair, and then, it's stupid. But the way Cameron writes, it's worth reading if anybody.
I got a great question for both of you.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a rumor going around that the Avatar, the first one and the second one, because they're basically the same thing, but Avatar is the same exact script and storyline as Dances with Wolves. Exactly.
Oh, really? I heard that
I have heard that.
I've heard the first one was the same as Pocahontas.
No, I heard it was Pocahontas, Dances with Wolves, and then Avatar. As it goes.
I don't see.
Well,
I don't see Dances with Wolves.
Yeah, I don't see that
either. If he comes back tomorrow, I will call him Two Socks.
Yeah. Hey, listen, but if you think about it, there's
so
not that many archetypes of narrative stories, and so
it's all the same story.
Yeah, it's like how many versions of different Shakespearean kind
Which
of plots.
Shakespeare is it?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So we've seen a lot of that. Okay, so we're all out of questions. We're all out of time. Excuse me. You guys have been amazing. This has been a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Now I have to go back to trying to defeat Scientology, which is my boring day job. So,
that's a action horror.
Yeah,
genre.
And so
horror.
Horror.
I just want to walk away from this knowing that somebody learned something. So thank you, Sterling.
Oh, I learned something for sure.
No, for pronouncing horror.
Oh,
I probably
horror.
I won't remember any of it.
No.
Doesn't matter. Well, you will.
I'll be like, I had a weird dream last night.
You've been implanted.
I was on with these two extremely good-looking gentlemen, and they were questioning me about movies.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, great. So listen.
Someone's asking what movie I have to watch. So you know what? I think we were tied in the end. I wasn't really keeping that track.
Yeah, I think we were.
Yeah, I think you guys were tied.
But since I did thoroughly enjoy getting out of my comfort zone and watching something, I would like, if it's okay, for you two to come up with a movie I should watch before the next time I do this, and I will happily do it.
Rachel, what would you like to assign him? Give him an assignment.
Now, mind you, I already have Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, and 12 Angry Men and Orpheus on my list.
Yeah, but I also gave you the assignment of watching Sweet Smell of Success.
Oh, that's right, Sweet Smell of Success too. Damn.
I think you should get through one of those before I go too weird on you.
Okay,
no, I think you should go weird. I think
yeah.
Go deep down the rabbit hole.
I don't know what could be weirder than what we've already been through here, except maybe a John Waters film.
Have you both seen Alphaville?
Alphaville.
Oh, Alphaville. Yes.
The French film.
Yes.
Where the dictionary, I think of it because of the Scientology.
Yeah, I thought. Are you sure it's French? I thought it was a dogma film.
Alphaville.
Okay.
Yes, it's Jean-Luc Godard.
Oh, good. Oh, yeah, I have seen that. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Alphaville. Okay, I wrote it down.
So read it watch it because it has this whole thing with the dictionary, and they start calling the dictionary the Bible.
Oof.
And it's a weird French film, and it's
right.
It's
well, it was made by Jean-Luc Godard, so of course it was a weird. I mean, he didn't make any non-weird film.
Yeah, it's totally weird, but it has an interesting. It's interesting to watch from someone who is had to learn study tech and
where the
obsess
dictionary
over the dictionary, where the dictionary is the Bible, and then they start changing society by removing words. And they're like, that word doesn't exist. It is not in the Bible.
Okay.
Right.
Anyway, but it's
Okay, good. That's the one on my list. That's what I'm going to do. It has a dictionary in it, so I know it's going to be exciting.
So while you were
dictionary
gone,
and a gun.
Ooh.
While you were gone, Sterling.
Yes.
We were asked about our favorite quote from a film. So we need to ask you, and you cannot say yippee-yi-yo-ki-yay, motherfucker, okay?
I would never say that.
Okay,
good.
The
one I quote the most, and forgive me for this, the chat won't, but I hope you guys do, is I've got the need for speed from Top Gun.
Okay, that's fine.
Hey.
You saw with Greg Wilher in the arc light.
Yeah, that's right. That makes it worse. Hey, I've been a fan of aviation for a while. Top Gun was always my favorite movie growing up. So yeah, I quote it a lot.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Yeah. No, that's cool. Top Gun was a great film. It has not stood the test of time, though. If you watch it, it really looks like an '80s commercial for male hygiene products
for deodorant.
Yeah.
Like if Axe body spray was around in the 80s.
Yeah, it was like an extended Axe body spray ad is pretty much what it looks like.
And I will admit that I do listen to the soundtrack when I ride my Harley over Kane and into Malibu.
Nice.
Yeah, sorry. I know. I'm ruining my chances of ever meeting someone. Yeah, but there we go.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you'll find someone. I'm sure there's a lot of ladies out there who like Top Gun and want to sit bitch style on the back of a Harley. Yeah.
Got a very small seat though, so
Yeah, I had a Harley with no seat on the back because it was just a race bike. Yeah. So, but that was in my.
I do not have a motorcycle. I have never had a motorcycle.
That's totally fine. We're not trying to compete here, but you have some badass cameras. Oh my God! Like you have cameras that are badder ass than a Harley, at least in my view. So.
And by the next week, I think we're going to talk about baseball, and we're going to do baseball trivia.
Yeah. I'm up for that. I mean, I will not be able to answer one question on baseball trivia. I mean, I was never into sports. I was the guy in high school who was like under the bleachers smoking with the quarterback's girlfriend. So I wasn't like, not into sports.
That's so good. That's so good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think. When I was in college, I fenced. I really wanted to learn sword fighting, and I thought about doing Japanese sword fighting. It's a little harder to get into, so I took fencing.
Did you do epee or did you do saber?
No, I did epee. I did I did foil. What am I talking about?
Foil, okay.
Yeah, no, I was a little too. You have to be for one thing. Epee is kind of dangerous because if you break an epee, you're going to get skewered and you're going to die. There's not a lot of epee fencing, and then. The guy that I actually learned to fence from was a California state champion saber fencer, and you got to have a really intense upper body strength because I forget what a competition saber weighs, but it's a few pounds.
Yeah, foil, I do saber every once in a while for fun.
It's how long can you last swinging that thing around? That's like not easy.
Well, because I play baseball, so my right arm is kind of in tennis. My right arm's kind of trained for that. So
okay, well if you'll sword fight with your left, I'll challenge you. No, I really like foil fencing because it's a game of sport. It's speed and it's very mental. It's like physical chess. You're really trying to outsmart another person.
Absolutely. You kind of deke them a little bit and try to get around on the side. Yeah, no, it's a great sport. Some people swing a little hard and it goes through all the padding, but yes. Yeah. I even have I have my whole fencing outfit and everything. So
yeah, you tend to block a lot on your
I got some marks. I got some marks.
It's nasty. No, Rachel's like zoning out. Yes, I've just never been into sports. As a kid, I followed motorsports. I used to go out to the Riverside Grand Prix every year and shit like that and hang out with Steve McQueen. Those are stories for another night. Rachel, thank you so much for joining us.
I'm going to sleep. It's my bed. It's past my bedtime.
That is so good.
But it's so exciting listening to you guys talk about sports.
Hey, well, I don't, you'll probably say, Mitch, but everyone that joined us tonight, thank you so much. Please go on and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It is free if you want to hear us do this again. And I will practice saying the word horror over and over again.
No, you got it. Horror.
Okay, great. And Rachel, I'm so glad to have had the chance to finally somewhat meet you. If you're ever around, we should all grab lunch together for sure.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Absolutely.
I can't do that.
Okay, that's it. I'm gonna put.
I gotta do something to get out of here. The cats are like breaking the door down. There's like little feet sticking under.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Thanks, guys. Good night. Oh!